Coming up tonight, still looking for answers. Local police are now examining details around the deaths of two Bahamians in Italy 4 years ago. Plus, looking for a head start on your professional journey? Hear all about a skills training program that can help you get that jump start. And later, a native arts and crafts gallery opens downtown. Our Jean Joseph has an inside look into the creative space. We've got those stories and more as our news weekend starts now. This is our news weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Megan Shepard. The authorities are hoping an exchange of information will help them to finally figure out what led to the deaths of two Bahamians found dead in Italy back in 2019. Alray Ramsey and Blair John were found dead in the Po River in Turin on June 4th and 5th 4 years ago. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell says now that the complete files have been turned over from the Italian government, they can examine details.
There is a legal impediment which prevents a coroner's inquest on our own without an amendment to the law. But this will not prevent our own police investigators from this side having an independent look at what evidence there is and making whatever suggestions they wish. It took a little while to get the translations done, but that's been finally completed. So before we move to the next step, we'll have a word with the families and then decide the way forward.
The autopsies reported their deaths were likely a drowning accident, but their families refused to accept that explanation and continue seeking answers. Mitchell confirms he's still in contact with the families, who still want closure.
The explanations thus far just seem inexplicable, and our lawyers who have been in touch with them said the families are indeed grateful for the fact that we're continuing to work on the problem to see if we can get some clear and independent answers, because what has been presented to us just doesn't make sense to us. You have two strong, healthy young men who simply seem to have fallen upon misfortune, and there doesn't seem to be a logical reason for it.
Unreliable utilities and inadequate healthcare facilities creating some issues for the people who live and visit the small key of Grand Key. The island's chief counselor, George Russell, talking about the utilities and medical facilities as government officials visited for a government complex renaming. The irony here is that tourist arrivals are at record numbers. Russell says even the visitors are noticing the neglect.
Our main request and concern, we do have a problem with the power here in Grand Key and the water. And what it really do, it's affecting our tourist industry. This year in Grand Key this is the most tourists we have had for a long time, but also the most complaint we have about the electricity and water outage.
Like many family islands and keys, Grand Key has limited healthcare services at their clinic. It is an issue Russell is pushing to have addressed. Another area of focus, making sure their hurricane team is properly prepared before the peak of the season.
The clinic, it could be improved some, and the service can be improved some, because I personally feel know that we need to have a doctor at least visit us once a month, and dentists, the dentist service. We need that. We have a hurricane team, but I think it really need to improve more than it is. But I'm quite sure we will put something in place. And we will try to stay on one accord for the safety and the betterment of the residents here in Grand Key.
Do you know someone thinking about starting or changing a career? Or maybe you're the one looking for a change? The National Training Agency is a good place to start. Agency officials say they are focused on providing proper skills and training, especially to young people. Acting Registration Assessment Manager and Guidance Counselor Stanya Davis says they're all about second chances.
We want to give persons a second chance. Young people who maybe didn't get an opportunity to go off to school, maybe they didn't do very well in their exams. Well, at National Training Agency, we want to prepare them for entry-level positions, but we want to prepare them in the right way. So a part of our training involves, first of all, 4 weeks of soft skills. So they come in, they work on customer service, self-awareness, so that we are preparing them for the workplace.
College or university is a first choice for many high school graduates or young people looking for a career. The agency advises not to dismiss the NTA too quickly when thinking about tertiary education.
Our program is about building the relationship. It's about preparing you for the future. Yes, it's entry level because we want to make sure that you get in. We want to give you the stepping stone to take it a step further, to go beyond where it is that you may be today. So it doesn't matter if you didn't do well in school. We have a place for you. We really want to train you. It's about training you, but not just training you in terms of just, how to do what it is that you're going to do, but it's also transforming you.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, it is back to school season and one organization is doing its part to help families in need after experiencing loss. Plus, the PACE Foundation giving community leaders the tools to help foster inclusive and loving communities. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
It's important to recognize those individuals and organizations doing good in the community. In this next report, our Joshua Williams looks at an organization that's decided to step in for families struggling to get kids ready for school.
It can be a busy, expensive, and stressful time of the year for any parent, much less those who have lost family members to murder. For this reason, FOAM, the organization dedicated to helping families of victims, decided on a back-to-school giveaway at its Nassau Village headquarters.
Whether it be with a uniform voucher or some persons will have their uniform out here. So the persons who come once we have their uniform out here already, they'll get the material or the uniform skirt and the shirt. And if we don't have their uniform out here, then we'll give them a voucher to go to Janae's or Carrie's department store.
FOAM Director Candy Gibson says she saw a need to act given current social and economic conditions.
The need is very great because do bear in mind, a lot of persons are still not employed. We have a lot of persons who would have lost their job. And then we have a lot of persons out there who would have lost their mother or father or both to murder. And so that leaves them now depending on the survivor's benefit. And so therefore, you would know once children, mother or father get murdered and they don't qualify for survivor's benefit, they get nothing. So thank God for grassroots NGOs like FOAM and the other organizations to be able to assist the children.
But FOAM alone cannot meet the demands. This is where she needs support from corporate Bahamas.
We need you guys. We need a partnership. At the end of the day, we say it takes a village to raise a child. And so we want to say, these children would have lost a parent, a mother or father to murder. And do bear in mind, we can't expect everything for the government to do it. But if we partnership with NGOs, grassroots NGOs, to better assist these children as they navigate their grief pain, we are on to something.
FOAM says despite today's success, the work is not done. They vow to continue to help members of the community that are in need, specifically those that have lost family members to murder. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Students helping students succeed. That is the idea behind the nonprofit youth organization BJC Passing Score. 17-year-old Jaden Newbold founded the organization back in 2020 as an 8th grader during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Students across the Bahamas at the time, we just came from a face-to-face setting now to just being on screens, and we needed that support from our peers, and we believe that peer tutoring was effective. And it surely did prove it when all of the students passed their BJCs in the first sitting, in our first year.
For Newbold, it's a gratifying experience watching his organization grow over 3 years, while also witnessing the difference it makes amongst other students across the country.
Knowing that we're doing something different, we're increasing the graduation rate across the Bahamas. So doing something that makes a change and knowing that we are one of the first set of students to have a program where it's open to the whole entire Bahamas, we enjoyed that, knowing that. Our first year we had a lot of Grand Bahama, Abaco, and New Providence, and I think we had a few from Eleuthera.
Acting President Nolan Bartlett wants other students and tutors to sign up if they are looking to give back. As a now 10th grader, he says he's living the benefits as a former mentee.
It's very helpful. I would recommend joining the program. It was fun for me as a former student of BJC Passing Score. It was fun. It was exciting. I was able to pass every BJC I took with the help of BJC Passing Score. And yeah, I would recommend it to your family, your friends. Get them along because it feels like family, it feels like friends when you're in the classroom.
The student-run organization is a registered non-profit youth organization under the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Last year, they won the Outstanding Youth Organization Award. Head of Marketing Relations, Charity Hippolyte, says they are in need of financial help. She's hoping Corporate Bahamas answers the plea.
Yes, this is your chance to invest into our organization. This is the organization where you can help the leaders of tomorrow. Any donation is welcomed. We are ready to go with you, collab with you. This is your moment.
To sign up, simply visit them on Facebook at BJC Passing Score. The PACE Foundation is trying to help with building more inclusive communities. Recently, they held something called Character Day, targeted at helping educators, guidance counselors, and those working with young people. It came in the form of an interactive workshop focused on building inclusive communities, healthy relationships, and what they call communicating with love. Disability inclusion consultant Erin Brown talks about how to build and foster more inclusive communities.
Be aware of your unconscious biases. A lot of us, our heart is willing, but our head is still trying to figure out how to connect the two. So whenever you're planning something, whenever you're holding an event, or you're thinking about something, think about the entire stakeholders that you're going to engage. And why is it important to have inclusive communications? And lastly, I would say, make it as accessible as possible. A lot of our venues have access ramps to the door, but you still can't get in the door. Be very aware of the accessible features of the facilities that you are using.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed how people communicate. It's something marriage and family therapist Dr. Barrington Brennan has observed a lot of.
More and more people wanting help, they're reaching out for help. And so if they didn't have the skills before COVID to effectively communicate, COVID tested them, weakened them, because they were not used to being like that. Others, COVID strengthened them because they were looking forward to a time to be together.
And if you're wondering how to communicate with love, here's some tips.
Listen effectively, have a non-judgmental attitude, and that's another one. And all right, love unconditionally.
When our news comes back from the break, from boys to boss businessmen, we'll tell you how a summer program on Grand Bahamas is helping to develop future entrepreneurs. Stay with us, those stories and more when we return.
If new, Heineken Silver was a riveting Viking saga.
Lars the 12th. Your family tortured my first wife and stole my second favorite goat. Now you want to marry my daughter. Okay.
All the taste, no bitter endings. Smooth, fresh, silver.
Welcome back. From boys to now businessmen, a group of Grand Bahama teens are better able to earn their own money thanks to the skills picked up at a recently concluded Boss Club summer program on the island. It all capped off with a pop-up display where they showed what they've been learning over the past few weeks. Shima Williams of Boss Club talks about how they were able to learn these important skills.
We wanted to use this program as a way to start introducing students to the possibilities of entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is one of those things where regardless of your age or your financial position or even your grades, your academic or your athletic abilities, you still have the opportunity to do something for yourself, and we wanted to show them that they can, no matter what walk of life they came from or what circumstance they found themselves in.
A few of the participants talked about what the organization did for their individual skill sets.
We think that the work that Boss Club is doing is very valuable to the community, and a business being owned, ran, and organized by young persons itself, we understand the support that's needed for a venture like this.
Business has been looking pretty easy today so far. I plan on having most of the books sold out at least towards the end of the day. The book is about what teenagers go through on a daily basis, topics such as stress, anxiety, and depression. And I just wanted to at least try and inspire people my age that they shouldn't be afraid to tell their feelings to other people.
Also from Grand Bahama, an initiative to teach youngsters how to play squash could be the foundation for the creation of a national squash team. The participants were young people from the urban renewal community who were given a chance to learn the fundamentals of the sport. Program coordinator for East Grand Bahama Seahorse Urban Renewal Center, Sonia Roll, believes this can lead to the formation of a team to compete on a national level.
Some of them never played it before. Some of them don't even really know what it is. They've never seen the game played. And so today and for the last 4 weeks, they would have had the opportunity to be trained by professional volunteers who play on a regular at the squash club. So we just want to encourage kids who play basketball or football or even soccer, like if they feel all worn out about that and they want something new, like they can come to the squash club where the proper training is. And you know, we just want to create great sportsmanship out of these youths.
And of course, wherever kids are involved, there's a learning curve. These youngsters shared what it was like to learn and to put the sport into practice.
It has been good because I made a lot of new friends and meeting new people and meeting a new sport that I've never played.
It's going very great because I'm starting to learn it even more and getting good at it. At first, it was very hard.
It's been very fun. It's a new experience, something new I never done before, and I love it. I like it.
On the other side of this break, we've got something special for you art lovers. Our Jane Joseph takes you inside the island's newest arts gallery. Stick with us. Our News Weekend continues right after this break. Welcome back. Sunny skies this Sunday afternoon, but what can you look forward to for the week ahead? Here's your weather forecast to help you plan just right. A gallery of native arts and crafts is among the newest offerings on Bay Street for visitors and local art lovers. Our Jane Joseph attended the highly anticipated opening and gives us a glimpse into what can easily be described as a celebration of Bahamian artistic heritage. Let's take a look.
The moment you step inside, you are greeted by an enchanting world of indigenous arts and crafts. Friends, Moya Strawn and Bonaventure Culmer were inspired to open a gallery just west of Elizabeth Avenue after Culmer attended one of Strawn's online art classes during the pandemic.
My good friend Bonnie Culmer, who is my classmate from St. Augustine's, she came up with the idea. She came to me as an artist, and she was on my online class during the COVID, my online art class. And she said, Moy, you want to do an art gallery? And I said, yes, of course. So that's how it all came about, and here we are, and we feel very happy about it.
These friends and now business partners are promising an authentic experience to gallery visitors.
We found that a lot of artists were looking for somewhere to showcase their talents. So, you know, like we tell the artists, this is for them, this is their venue. Bring your artwork in. We are going to try and showcase it to tourists, to locals. We're going to do workshops, sip and paints. We have also invited artists to actually come and do exhibitions where they sit and do their painting. So if they're looking for somewhere to relax and do some painting, we'll give them a stage to sit and just, paint. And that's a great attraction for the locals coming through as well.
His Excellency Jamal Roll, UNESCO ambassador and professional artist, showed his support in the planning and opening stages.
As we began the revitalization of Bay Street, and we expect more and more tourists to trickle and traverse downtown in areas like this that we would deem the sort of dead part of downtown. It would take businesses like this to bring these areas back up to where it used to be. And I would encourage the public at large to support these artists by purchasing their artwork and visiting the spot.
The gallery offers a vibrant tapestry of colors, textures, and stories, displaying local artists like Brian Rankine, a Defense Force officer and self-taught artist.
This piece behind me is just my interpretation of people coming together and doing some work. So on the island, what you would normally see people come together to do is bring in a boat. Something you really think about, but it happens all the time. A boat could be light, but if water get inside it, you need teamwork. So you have to bring the family together, bring the team together, and that's something they want to captivate in this piece here. Pull that boat.
Alkino Dames is also an artist and educator on display at the gallery.
Life inspired me. Also in my lineage, I have some artists as well. Percy Willa Francis, that's my uncle. It's a John Canoa. But being exposed to the arts as a young man and, just aspiring to be a positive role model.
The Bay Street Gallery offers a glimpse into the Bahamas' rich cultural tapestry, showcasing art's power to transcend boundaries, connect, and inspire. Visitors are encouraged to immerse themselves in native arts and crafts, weekdays and Saturdays. Reporting for Our News, Arts and Entertainment, I'm Gene Joseph.
Thanks, Gene. Definitely a spot I need to check out. And thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful rest of your weekend.